Whipple, what's your take on him as a schemer, and does he do more formationally than a lot of the teams you?
I mean, does a great job. I mean, he just, they do a good job of creating some matchups. They know who their best players are, and they're going to do everything they can to create some matchups for those guys and some one-on-one opportunities. And they're a pass-first offense, but they're going to keep you. They want to be physical, and they're going to keep you. They're going to keep you honest on the run game for sure. But he knows who his best players are, and like any coach, you're going to feature that, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to put the ball in that number 8's hands. That's who's getting it, and he's schooled up and he's well equipped. That's where he does his best coaching. He's well equipped on how to manage the game because the coach is on the sideline, and he really knows how to manage the game. He knows how to get them in the right plays. He's equipped with some check with me's and some packages and things like that. But again, they'll do a good job, whether it be in their empty package or formationally, in creating some matchups, that they want.
Can you share anything about Joseph Charleston's decision to transfer?
Yeah, I just came to me last week and said that he just feels like he wants to get a fresh start somewhere, and again. It's always disappointing, but I'm just kind of numb to it, now. I mean, that's just 2021. I mean, that's probably going to be news every week. Eventually, y'all going to quit reporting it. It's just going to be like oh, and by the way, because that's the world we've created. It's the world we're living in now. But I love Joseph. I mean, I think he's a really good player, like a really good player. He's had a lot of unfortunate, issues and situations, and he's had injuries. He missed a lot of camp this fall. He's battled a hamstring, and he's had a lot of things. And then other guys have taken advantage of opportunities, and he just felt like that. Again, you'd like to see him finish and see what happens, but again, that's everybody's got to make their own decisions, and that's the world we're in today. So he wants to take this time and figure out what he wants to do because he wants to go somewhere in January. He's a great kid, love his mom and dad. I mean, just super, super people, and thankful. Had a couple years with him, and hopefully we helped him. But just have to wish him well.
Do you have enough data on the one-year waiver now being in place that's getting in the kids' heads more? If any conversations with other head coaches maybe come up before the game when you're chatting about in terms of trying to retain your roster? I mean, is this one-year waiver even made the ball roll faster down there?
One-year waiver.
Being able to go play.
I don't think that's a one-year waiver. I think that's for the rest of life. That's for forever.
In other words, you can go play right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
That's a. You mean like waiver of the ineligible sit out? Yeah. I thought you meant.
You can go transfer.
Yeah.
Do you think that's even sped up?
I thought you said like a one-year waiver for us legislatively.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt, no question about that. I mean, that's the world we've created and the world we've lived in, and it's going to be every school is going to deal with that. Every single school out there will deal with it a lot. And in some cases, it's I think there's a right time for that stuff, but I think that it's not always the best thing, and we've again, that's what's been created, and we gotta make it work.
You talked on Sunday about a Joe's missed block on that Davis Allen screen. You talked a lot in fall camp about how he was one of the most improved guys. I mean, is the details in terms of like a situation like that, blocking, things like that, what's held him back?
It's not much of a detail. You blocked the guy in front of you. It's very simple. Not much of a detail in that. Just do your job. And he did some good things, but you just can't even explain that. Can't even explain it. So, Just every single play you have a job to do. There is no off play. And again, he's not a complete player. He's going to be a great one. But it's just, there are no off plays. And you got a job to do every single play. You're either blocking somebody, getting your hands on somebody, running a route, full speed. There's no in between. And, just frustrating, situation there. But again, that's just one play. We got 25 plays just like that. That's our biggest problem offensively, is getting 11 guys consistently doing their job. And so ultimately, player performance is all on coaches. So it's all on me. There's no at all. It's just that's just the way it is. I'm responsible for what you see, and so nobody more frustrated than myself.
Yeah, but with some of the drops and with the blocking stuff that you mentioned, have you spent any more extra time with the receivers this week, kind of being more hands-on?
I spend time with everybody, defensively, offensively. I spend time with everybody on this roster, but it's not just the receivers. It's everywhere. It's just a funk. It's just a stink, and we got to get rid of it. Lingering in the car, and we got to get rid of it. It's like Seinfeld. Y'all remember that Seinfeld show where the stink was in the car and you couldn't get rid? I don't remember which one. It just pops in my head right here. That's what we got. Oh my Lord, man! But we're gonna get there. We're going to get there. The good news is we're still Clemson. And the good news is we got a bunch of great kids. And we got a bunch of great people. And, again, we're in a little bit of a funk, but we got to play our way out of it. And we will. We will. And we'll look back on this, and it'll be a great conversation somewhere down the road. A few years from now, we'll be saying, God, y'all remember how bad we stunk those first 6 games? We'll get it going. We'll get it going. We've got a lot of challenges, but everybody has challenges. Everybody has things that they got to deal with, and it's frustrating because it's not something that we're used to around here. I mean, it's just not, and so, but we'll get it turned around.
Tony said that yesterday that this offense doesn't have the leadership of some of its predecessors. Who are some of the guys you're looking to sort of elevate that presence as leadership?
Everybody on the field is a leader to me. I ain't looking to everybody. You're on that field, you're a leader. And, we need everybody to just take ownership of what they can do to, help us get better. And, you be a leader by being detailed. You be a leader by doing your job, full speed. You be a leader by making the plays that are there. So everybody's a leader. It's not on any one person. It's on all of us.
At the time, Brent and Tyler couldn't celebrate the interception, but could you, after the fact, as a dad, especially kind of appreciate that a father-son moment that's pretty cool that doesn't necessarily take place?
Yeah. Oh, that was great, man. It was a huge play. And Tyler's really had a good year for us. I mean, he's a smart kid. We can do a lot with him. He's kind of our putty guy. He can play a lot of different positions. And there's a whole lot more. He's just a redshirt freshman. We didn't even count last year. So this kid's got a lot. He's got a lot in front of him. He can run. He's physical. Sometimes a little too physical. A big penalty there, 3rd and 12. But you love his tenacity, and he's got excellent ball skills. He played quarterback in high school, so he knows the game and just understands things on the back end, kind of like a quarterback. And proud of him. That was a huge. There was one of the things we talked about in the game was red zone defense, and that was a huge play in that game. And then we went on and went and scored. We got points off of that. So 2 weeks in a row we've gotten points off of turnovers, and that'll be a key in this game. Continuing. That's another positive. We've won the margin 2 weeks in a row, and that's we can continue to win the margin. Continue to play well on special teams. Continue to play well on defense. We'll get it put all together, and we'll like the result when it happens.
Have you had a chance to talk to Brent about that kind of proud moment, though? Just
No, not really. Just, I mean, we celebrated on the sideline and talked about it when we watched the tape and, all that, but that's about it.
Dabo, one of the national writers used your name in connection with LSU, saying that the AD there wants to swing big and is likely to.
I'm going to tell them to call you, and you be the middleman, okay? I'm telling them to call philkornblute.com, and we'll go from there. How about that?
He said he's likely to swing big and try to reach out to big-time coaches.
I'm a big-time coach. Wow. I made a big-time list? Wow.
Just want to go ahead and take your name and just say, wipe my name out of there right now.
I'm going to tell them to call you. I'm going to let you either.
Negotiate your buyout.
You going to negotiate that? Okay. All right. Yeah, this is the only Death Valley I'm concerned about right here. That's for sure. All right.
Anything else for Coach in the room? Anything from Zoom?
Hey, Dabo, this is James Babcock from Charleston. As you mentioned, the first trip to Pitt, they joined the ACC way back in 2013. Would you like to see a little more variety in the ACC schedule rotation?
Way back in 2013. Making me feel old, Gene. Did you say the rotation? Yeah, I've said that many years. I think you'd have to kind of figure out a different way on the what do you call it? The crossover rival, I guess. I guess for us that's Georgia Tech. You'd have to kind of do away with that, and so there might have to be a little bit because I know that could affect some teams. But I personally would like to see that and just kind of see a little more of a rotation. But it gets hard though in these conferences. They're getting big, and you know what? In a few years we're having, I think, a different conversation. So I'm not sure it's really going to matter.
Hey, Dabo, David with ESPN. I'm not going to ask you about transfers, so.
Oh, call philkornblute.com.
I did want to ask you, though, to kind of follow up on that a little bit. What do you make when a coach wins a national championship and less than 2 years later he's out? Is there problems in terms of our expectations and the way that this works? If you can win a national championship and can't even last 2 more years before people want to make a change?
There's not anything that surprises me. I mean, there's not much patience anymore. That's just, and again, there's mitigating factors to everything. I don't know. There's always extenuating circumstances and things like that. I don't know other people's business. I have no idea, why people make decisions that they make. But I do know this. Some of the greatest coaches that we've ever had, ever, weren't very good, early or maybe the consistency wasn't there. And you can do your own study on that, but I think that's pretty well documented. It's a tough business, that's for sure. And that's why, I'm proud of the national championships and hey, we've been to 6 playoffs in a row, and that's never been done by anybody. It's hard to do. It's hard to win. Hopefully maybe the Clemson people have a little more appreciation for that this year. It's hard to win. That's one thing. That's another positive with our group. We've had 4 one-possession games in a row, and our kids just battle their butts off and find a way. But it's very, very hard to win. But the biggest thing for me, national championships are great, but it's just the consistency that we've had for, a decade. We've been incredibly consistent on and off the field. And that's the thing that I think everybody wants, but that's really hard to achieve. And, we've had some challenges within those times, but we've just been a very consistent program. And that's what I've always focused on. It's not a team, not just that team, but really always being, program focused. And, that has served us well and will continue to serve us well. It's just that's the world we live in. So it comes with the territory, and I think everybody knows that. When you get into coaching.
Anything else for Coach?
6 games in, what's your assessment of how DJ's handled the design run portion of the
He's done well. He's gotten better and better. I mean, I think that's certainly helped us, and it's helped him. I think he's done a nice job. He really has. He's made some big plays for us, and just going to continue to get better. It's still, a part of his game that I think he's improving in. But and again, continuity up front and all those things has a little bit to do with that too. But been proud of him. He's done some good stuff, man. From where he was when he started this year to where he is right now, he has worked his tail off, and he's in a good place. He's in a good place. And again, we just got to be a little better around him in some areas, and get the continuity and the rhythm that we need. And I think he'll be fine. I mean, the play action that we dropped across the middle, wide open. Man, you watch him in the pocket right there, and just was really, really impressive what he did. And, that's going to be a 50, 60, yard plus play, and we don't make the play. And so, but evaluating him, everybody focuses on not making a play, but evaluating him and how he's grown with his pocket presence, his accuracy, and his run game stuff. I mean, he's done some good things. He's, like I said, he's heading in the right direction. He graded really well and played his best game again, and found a way to win. So there'll be a lot of good days from DJ as he continues forward.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.